Welcome to Storyflix. In this video, we will explain an Italian film about a 13-year-old boy who is shy and unpopular at school. One day, after wearing a costume for a Halloween party, he finds out that he can turn invisible. Is he going to be the next young superhero? Let's find out together in The Invisible Boy. The Invisible Boy begins by showing a 13-year-old boy named Mickey. Mickey lives with his mother, Giovanna. Mickey is a shy boy that is often ostracized by her friends at school. One day while at school to take an exam, suddenly the principal came in with a policewoman. It turned out that the police officer was Mickey's mother. Mickey's mother is looking for a student named Martino who suddenly disappeared when he came home from school. Unfortunately, none of the students in the class knew of Martino's whereabouts. While carrying out the exam, Mickey's nose suddenly had a nosebleed. He immediately asked permission to go to the toilet. But when in the toilet, he was visited by two bad boys named Brando and Ivan. They then bullied Mickey and forcibly took his money. At first, Mickey planned to use the money to buy Halloween costumes. Not only that, when he came home from school, Mickey was also bullied again in front of all the other children. After school, Mickey went to buy a Halloween costume. He then got a simple Halloween outfit. That night at a Halloween party, Mickey meets up with Stella and Brando. Mickey has a crush on Stella. Because he liked her so much, Mickey often secretly recorded Stella. At the party, Brando and Ivan secretly play a recording of Stella recorded by Mickey. Turns out they got the tape when Mickey went to the bathroom. After seeing her recording, Stella immediately asked Mickey, but Mickey ran away from the party. Miraculously, the following day when he wakes up, Mickey found himself invisible. He was sure that the costume he wore yesterday could make him invisible. Realizing he could be invisible, Mickey took the costume to school to avenge Brando and Ivan. While studying, Mickey secretly fired Ivan's gun at their teacher. Ivan immediately received severe detention. On the other hand, when playing tennis, Brando was also bullied by Mickey, which his father was so angry and punished him. Because he was not seen, Mickey then went into the teacher's room to copy the math exam he had not had time to do. Not only that, when he saw the girls who were exercising, he also had the idea to peek at them when they were changing uniforms. Unfortunately, when he was sitting, suddenly one of the girls threw a towel at him. The towel shaped his body, and his actions were discovered. The next day, Mickey's parents were called to school because of the incident. A policeman came to Mickey's school again and said that a student named Brando had disappeared. At that moment, suddenly Mickey's hand began to disappear. He panicked and rushed home. When he entered his room, he found his sister. Mickey told her to get out of his room, but it turned out that his sister didn't really come out of the room. When Mickey opened his face mask, his sister screamed hysterically. Mickey then told how he became invisible because of the Halloween costume he bought. His mother then went into Mickey's room, but she did not see him. His mother then called someone, and to his surprise, it turned out that Mickey was not his mother's biological child. Turns out he was an adopted son. Hearing this, Mickey was shocked and decided to run away from home. He ended up playing on the swing alone. Stella then came and invited the invisible Mickey to chat. Stella did not know it was Mickey she was talking with. Stella made a picture of a smile out of the sand. At a glance, Mickey could see that someone was staring at him from a distance. That night, Mickey came to Stella's house. The two who are in love decide to have some fun under the covers. Unfortunately, Mickey's invisible body suddenly began to appear. He immediately left Stella's room before she realizes it was him. The scene continues to show Stella, who is practicing gymnastics. Suddenly, someone came and kidnapped her. Mickey, who realized that Stella was kidnapped, tried to help her. Unfortunately, he didn't make it. The next day, Mickey wakes up and looks for the invisible costume. But it turns out that the costume has been washed by his mother. Mickey was so angry with her mother because he was afraid that his costume would lose its invisible power. Mickey immediately decided to run away from home. Stella was then put into a room. There, she met Brando and Martino, two children who disappeared. Mickey is then approached by a man who turns out to be her real father. The man named Andriy said that in the past, his life was so fun and normal. But there was a great disaster in Russia right when he was born. The disaster was in the form of a nuclear attack which resulted in the deaths of many people. When the disaster took place, a military group tried to take advantage of the people who survived the disaster. They believe, when a nuclear disaster occurs, some people suddenly have special powers. This power will be used when the war takes place. People then began to be arrested and forced to use their powers. So many people have extraordinary powers, ranging from moving inanimate objects without touching them to some who can fly. Andriy himself has an incredible power where he can read people's minds. His unique ability makes military groups use his power very often. Due to being used too often, Andriy's vision slowly began to disappear. Andriy was finally arrested with his wife, Yelena. At that time, Yelena was pregnant and about to give birth. But when the child was born, the baby was taken by the military. To save his son, Andriy decided to run away with his son. While in pursuit, the two were caught by the army. Yelena also sacrificed herself so that her husband and her son could escape. That's when we realized that Yelena had the power to disappear. It turns out that that's the origin of Mickey's invisible ability was got from his mother, not because of the superhero costume he bought. Unfortunately, Yelena was shot by military forces. Andriy took the baby away from that place as far as possible. Because Andriy can read other people's minds, then he knows if Yvonne is a good person. At the end of the story, Andriy gives Mickey a superhero costume. When he returned home, suddenly a policeman appeared and was about to arrest Mickey. Mickey tries to escape, but the police make it difficult for him. Mickey, who is already wearing the costume his father gave him, tries to fight the police with his invisibility power. Finally, after dueling for some time, Mickey managed to escape through his bedroom window. At that time Mickey met his schoolmate, Ivan. He immediately hitches a ride on Ivan's motorbike. Ivan then helps Mickey escape from the police chase. Finally, Mickey showed his true identity to Ivan. Ivan was amazed to realize Mickey's ability to be invisible. Mickey says that Stella, Brando, and Martinez were deliberately kidnapped by someone disguised as a policeman. The two of them became a solid team and prepared everything to fight the criminals. Unfortunately, the two still don't know where their friends are being held. On the other hand, Brando and Martino try to devise a plan to get out of their held captive. Stella finally made it out and tried to find a way. But the guard was tight enough to make it challenging to go. In the end, Stella could only head to a tower. There, she drew a smile in the headlight, hoping the invisible boy would see and come to her aid. Mickey and Ivan, who realized Stella's sign, immediately rushed to the location. Unfortunately, Stella was caught by the military. So Mickey asks Ivan to distract the military by firing an alarm, while Mickey infiltrates using his invisible ability. Finally, Mickey managed to save his friends. Mickey then shows his true self in front of all his friends. Everyone was so amazed to realize that Mickey was a hero who saved them. But Stella said there was still someone they needed to help. Brando and Martinez left, while Mickey and Stella returned again to help the person Stella was referring to. But unexpectedly, Mickey was framed by Stella. It turned out that Stella's mind had been taken by a man's influence. It turns out that this man has the power to control other people's thoughts. Not only Stella, the police who had tried to arrest Mickey also turned out to be under his influence. In fact, they only wanted to catch Mickey, so Stella was put in a rescue capsule so she could leave. An angry Mickey could no longer contain the emotions inside him. That's when his true power emerges. With ease, he killed all the troops that came his way. He even destroyed the submarine. Finally, Mickey and Stella escaped by using a rescue capsule. In the end, both of them survived. Mickey immediately approached his father. Andriy says if he has the power to erase memories from people who know Mickey's power. All of this was done to protect Mickey because if everyone knew about Mickey's power, his life would be in danger. So Mickey asked for 1 minute to speak to Stella. It turns out that Stella has fallen in love with Mickey. But in the end, Mickey had to give up all that. Andriy then uses his powers to erase the memories of everyone who knows Mickey's powers. In the end, everyone thought that the missing children had been saved by Giovanna. Instantly, Giovanna became so famous and won awards. The next day, everything seemed normal at school. Stella had absolutely no memory of what had happened. Ivan and Brando are still trying to bully Mickey. Mickey and Stella finally walk together, discussing the exams they would face soon. As if nothing had happened between them. The end.